Well, hello and welcome to the next fighter joining my retired playlist. Okay, and it is former bantam and featherweight champion, Terrible Terry Mcgovern. So let us begin the video of Terry Mcgovern with his major opponents. So Terry Mcgovern, okay, fought Harry Forbes, okay, on 2 occasions, scoring 2 wins. He also fought and defeated former champion Pedler Palmer in a singular fight, before then twice defeating the great Canadian fighter George Dixon. Next up is Frank Hearn, okay, Terry Mcgovern also defeated him, and then he fought Joe Gans, okay, the great lightweight champion, scoring a win in a singular fight. Next up, one fighter that Terrible Terry Mcgovern couldn't seem to defeat was the excellent young Corbett II. From the trilogy they had, Mcgovern lost 2 and drew 1. He then defeated former world champion Dave Sullivan before fighting and losing to the durable Dane, battling Nelson. Next up, former lightweight champion Jimmy Britt, okay, fought Terry Mcgovern to a draw, and Mcgovern twice defeated capable contender Oscar Gardner before fighting another of the capable contenders of his time, Tim Callahan, in a trilogy. Now Terry Mcgovern scored 1 win, 1 loss and 1 draw from those 3 fights. He also defeated contenders Austin Rice and the Sicilian swordfish Casper Leon in singular fights. Next up, Joe Bernstein, a contender, okay, was defeated all 3 times he climbed into the ring with Terry Mcgovern, and Mcgovern closes out slide 1, fighting to a draw against contender Spike Robson. So, some very tough opponents and tough contenders on slide 1. When we go to slide 2, okay, we see Mcgovern fought young Lowry on 1 occasion, fighting to a draw. He then scored a win over Harlem Tommy Murphy before also scoring wins over contenders, the first being Eddie Hanlon and the second being the power puncher Aurelio Herrera. He then also scored a singular win over Kid Broad before fighting contender Tommy White on 2 occasions, okay, scoring 1 win, no loss and 1 draw from those 2 fights. So there is 31 fights highlighted there for Terrible Terry Mcgovern. From that 31 fight total, he has 21 wins with 4 losses and 6 draws. So when we go on to the KOs and rounds boxed, Mcgovern scored 44 knockouts in his career, just more than half of them mathematically at 23 were in 3 rounds or less, and Mcgovern scored 7 first round wins. Now, he did score 7 KOs against champions, 3 KOs against Hall of Famers, and he scored 8 KOs against pound-for-pound rated fighters. But as a pre-rating here fighter, Mcgovern scored 0 KOs against rated opponents. Now, he did fight a total of 524 rounds. Mcgovern also fought 48 title fight rounds, and he fought totals of 87 rounds against champions, 44 rounds against Hall of Famers, and 93 rounds against pound-for-pound fighters. So as already highlighted, against rated opponents, okay, he has no fights due to being pre-rating era. So he has no rounds against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters, or ring champions. So going on to his slide against champions, okay, Mcgovern had 13 fights against champions, including 8 wins, 3 losses and 2 draws. Now Mcgovern defeated 6 individual champions in his career. They were Harry Forbes, Pedler Palmer, George Dixon, Frank Hearn, Joe Gans and Dave Sullivan. Now from those 6 champions, Mcgovern scored knockout or stoppage over all 6. Harry Forbes, Pedler Palmer, George Dixon, Frank Hearn, Joe Gans and Dave Sullivan. So a severe winning record against champions, and he beat a number of champions, and he scored stoppages over every champion that he beat. So going on to the Hall of Fame slide for Mcgovern, okay, we see he had 8 fights against Hall of Famers, including 4 wins, 3 losses and 1 draw. Now Mcgovern defeated 3 Hall of Famers individually, them being George Dixon, Frank Hearn and Joe Gans, and Mcgovern scored stoppages over all 3 Hall of Famers he beat, George Dixon, Frank Hearn and Joe Gans. So will he make it 3 from 3 with the pound-for-pounders? Okay, so Mcgovern had 14 fights against pound-for-pounders, including 9 wins, 3 losses and 2 draws. He defeated 6 individual pound-for-pound fighters. He defeated Harry Forbes, George Dixon, Oscar Gardner, Frank Hearn, Joe Gans and Dave Sullivan, and he scored knockout of stoppage over all 6 of them: Harry Forbes, George Dixon, Oscar Gardner, Frank Hearn, Joe Gans and Dave Sullivan. So there is Terry McGovern's record against champions, Hall of Famers and pound for pounders. So going on to rated opponents slide for McGovern, we see as a pre-rating era fighter, he has no fights against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters or ring champions, therefore by default defeated no individual rated fighters and scored knockouts over 0 individual rated fighters. When we go on to the title fight slide though, one thing he did was had a number of title fights. McGovern, across the weights where he titled, had a total of 10 world title fights. He had an excellent title fight record of 8 wins with 2 losses, no draws. McGovern also made 6 title defences, and he scored a total of 8 title fight knockouts. Now against rated opponents in title fights, McGovern scored no wins, being a pre-rating era fighter against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters or ring champions, but McGovern did score 2 wins against champions in title fights. He scored 1 win against a Hall of Famer and 3 wins against pound for pounders in title fights. So just one slide to go, the title winning slide. McGovern was a multi-weight champion. The world titles held by Terry McGovern were the world bantamweight title and the world featherweight title. McGovern also a multi-weight lineal champion, holding the lineal titles at both of those weights, bantamweight and featherweight, and he's also a multi-weight undisputed champion, holding the undisputed bantamweight and featherweight world titles during his career. Terry McGovern was a fearsome fighter. In fact, some people in Harry Greb's time at one point earlier in his career were comparing him to a middleweight Terry McGovern. Which at the time was high praise, for Greb, who had not yet established himself, as the great fighter he obviously was. But even in some of his, in his first 3 or 4 years, some people were saying he's like Terry McGovern. He's like a middleweight version of Terry McGovern, which was high praise. McGovern was an aggressive fighter, a puncher. Very, very good fighter indeed. So there is my latest career video. Now tomorrow there will be a career video, and coming tomorrow will be the gigantic Sugar Ray Robinson and Henry Armstrong stat matchup. So the 2 giants will be pitted against each other, and we will see who wins that one. That is coming tomorrow, but for now I'll leave you today with Terry McGovern. I'm the Boxing Librarian. I'm out for now.